welcome along to another episode of this FM20 Build a Nation story, Climbing with Cliftonville with me, Daniel. It's part 43, and as you've seen today, it's the return of my favourite thumbnail. The second time we are taking part in the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Challenge Cup final, and this time we're the favourites. So let's see if we can get the victory against Clyde, who have still got some very good stars by the way, as we head to the Simple Digital Arena, the home of St Mirren on a normal match day, to try and wrap up a new trophy for the first time in the series. We've already won plenty of others, but this is the one. I love this competition, I love the snack, and I said this is the one we want to win before we finish. So let's see if we can do it. As you can see, we've wrapped up the championship already. We are Irish Premiership champions, 34 points clear of Larne and 6 points off 100 with 5 games still to go. Larne coming up next in the Cup semi-final, another chance to complete a clean sweep of domestic trophies. Just that All-Ireland Champions Cup we've lost in this year, and of course the Europa League as well. So things progressing well, and then it's the big summer before the last season. Can some of these sides, particularly Larne, sign players that will get them to good stages in European football? That's what we have to wait and see. So if you're looking forward to this big cup final, you're enjoying the Wafer thumbnail being back, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM20 content and FM21 in around 2 weeks' time. There's loads of announcements over on the community page, over on Discord and on Twitter about series plans for FM21, and there'll be a few votes over there as well, so you can choose certain things within episodes, and I'm going to let you pick one of my live stream saves as well. But let's crack on with the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Cup final. My favourite snack and yours. The only thing we've got to have a look at first is the schedule. So you were with me last as we put in a brilliant performance against Feyenoord and unfortunately just lost out. But it's been back to winning ways since then. The Wafer Cup semi-final, actually the only scare we've had. We won 3-0 at home to Crusaders. Connor Crawford scored all of them on that occasion. A 5-0 win at home to Glentoran. This time it was Adam Idar with a hat-trick before McDonald and a Crawford penalty wrapped that up. A 2-0 win at Ballina Millard. A backup team played as we rested everyone for the Cups. Noah Daly and Rashawn Hepburn-Murphy scored those 2 goals. Before into March, it was a 2-0 win in the Irish Cup quarter-final. McLaughlin and Adam Idar again. McLaughlin playing because guess what? Nico Williams is injured. In the Cup semi-final, we had Connor Crawford to thank as he got a brace to keep us on par. We almost threw it away with 11v10, but Shane Ferguson, who has barely kicked a ball since Christmas, came off the bench and scored a late winner. And that's the quality of the squad. That's the experience of having people who have played 40, 50 times for their country. Against Coleraine, we won 4-0, Hepburn-Murphy scoring all 4 of them as we rotated after that cup game. And then against Portadown, a narrower 1-0 win before the international break. Connor Crawford scoring the early penalty, as it was a half and half side of sorts. But we're getting into the Clyde game today. Harvey Elliott is doubtful, but that will not stop us at all. We've got a youth intake to look at as well, so we'll go and do that after this game. But we've got to get into the cup final. It is my favourite competition, so let's see what we can achieve. We are heavy favourites, which is very different to last time we played. Don't forget 2 years ago against Hamilton, we did well to only lose 1-0. So this is a very different kettle of fish. As you can see, Elliott's there. This says there's minimal complications. And between now and the end of the season, this is our biggest game, so we have to risk him. Nico Williams is backing up right back, but of course McLaughlin's on the bench if needed, and everything else is taking shape nicely. So we've got Bazunu in goal. I need to change Doyle back to a Mazzala quickly. Nico Williams and Mark Lyons, the fullbacks. He's still improving very quickly. Branthwaite and McDonald at centre-half. We've got Doyle and Kane in central midfield. Jake Kane having another good spell now. And Harvey Elliott and Middleton on the wings. Glenn Middleton going over to Cardiff on the 9th of June. We've got Connor Crawford up front alongside Adam Idar. Crawford still improving, still doing well, and still banging in goals for fun. But with an injury to Rashawn Hepburn-Murphy, it is Stephen Thompson who is the sub-striker if we need him, alongside many other stars that we recognise pretty well. So into the game we go. It is Clyde v Cliftonville. Do you think we can do it second time around, or will we fall short yet again? Let's go in and find out. Let me know what you think below. 4-2-3-1 for Clyde, and I said they had a good side, and some of them are recognisable on the channel. So Ollie Inker in central midfield. For those of you that have been here a long time will remember we had him at Torquay in FM19, part of the furniture. And he was a really good player then, and he's a good player now. He'd certainly be a backup in ours. He's better than the likes of Sammy Wilson. So he's an interesting one. They've got Lewis Binks at centre-half, a really good young defender. And then up front, they've got the superstar of the lot, which is David Goodwillie. Former Scottish international. He's just over the cliff in terms of physicals now. But if we give him chances in the box, he will probably score. A sort of glimpse into what a side they've got. They are a good team. So this is going to be a difficult game. I just noticed they've got Ryan Huddart in goal as well. We had him at some point. So let's go and get the lads to prove a point. Let's go and get through the tunnel interview. And it's the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Challenge Cup final here at St Mirren. And it's Clyde versus Cliftonville. Let's see if we can win it. Well, it's been a very quiet 28 minutes as we haven't created many chances and we haven't seen anything on camera, but we've got the ball now with Lions and we seem to have the territory as Tommy Doyle comes forward, beats a man 25 yards out and his shot's comfortably over the bar, but he's creating something and he's putting that effort in, which is what we want to see. We have had by far the better of the stats, but not created anything meaningful, and with 10 to the break, Clyde will be happy with this. We are not living up to the heavy favourites tag. McDonald picks it up from the long goal kick. He gets it inside to Kane and now Doyle. He's come over halfway and again not much pressure on him as he goes overlapping to Nico Williams on the right. Into Connor Crawford. Just wide of the post. Even Connor Crawford's not scoring in the big game. As Huddart goes long down the wing. He finds his right wing back and he's got the chance to cut inside here. He goes back to Brownlee. Idar can't quite nick it. Into Lamont, who goes long to Lions. He hoofs clear, Crawford flicks down, and Doyle finds Harvey Elliott. We've seen nothing out of him, maybe the wrong decision to start him, and Nico Williams has to get clear under pressure. It falls for Harvey Elliott eventually. He cuts inside from the right. He's got two over, but goes simple to Kane. He finds Middleton, who plays a 1-2 with him. Kane delivers to the back post. Nico Williams in there. He shoots from the right-hand side. Huddart parries it away and gets it wide too. Middleton crosses back in. No, it falls for Adam Idar. And the goalkeeper, he throws himself. That's the perfect description. I was going to say he tries to smother it, but he just threw himself at it. And it's out for a corner, which is cleared downfield. 0-0 at half-time. We've been completely dominant. But we haven't got that ruthless edge, and we haven't got Hepburn Murphy on the bench. So we're going to ask them to go out and prove that they're winners. Most of them motivated, most of them happy. Let's see if they respond in the second half. It's a goal kick for Huddart again. Quite often we see the highlights start like this, and it falls for that right winger again, who has picked it up 2 or 3 times in this match. He cuts inside to Mercer. Middleton couldn't quite get there, but he does win the second one back. Lyons is overlapping, but he goes back to Kane instead. He goes to Lyons down the left. Chance for the overlapping wing back to get there. He gets to the edge of the box, cuts it back to Jake Kane. Can we create a good, meaningful chance here? It's out to Middleton, to Lyons. Middleton again in the box, to Harvey Elliott. It was the right decision to start him. 15 goals for the season. The injured Harvey Elliott scores the first goal of the game. It is Clyde 0, Cliftonville 1, and it is thoroughly deserved. I will not be arguing with that. Huddart's got the ball now, nearly an hour gone. And we're back to see what he can do with this long kick. Very direct this side, but Williams wins it and finds Harvey Elliott. We will probably have to bring him off soon, because physically both of the right-hand siders are struggling. As the ball's into Crawford, it's hacked away as far as Nico Williams. Chance to cross in, he goes to loan to the box, finds Elliott, who pricks it down for Crawford. His shot's blocked twice, back to Doyle, and it's over the bar again. Still 1-0. We've had enough chances to win 3 or 4 games. 20 minutes to go. I'm going to have to take the right wing off. So Nico Williams will be replaced by Conor McLaughlin. Noah Daly will be on for Harvey Elliott. Or will it be Tom Linley? I think Linley's just about the better player here. So let's go for him. Inside forward on support. And then up front, we are going to replace Connor Crawford with Stephen Thompson. I know that's a risk. But Crawford, top scorer in the league. And he's had a poor game today. As we've got a corner on the left with Middleton towards Jake Kane. Falls for Adam Idar and he puts it wide. He's missed a few good chances today as well. He's been in pretty poor form generally, bar that hat-trick. And he's not scored today. As Doyle puts the ball into the box, Brownlee heads away. Branthwaite brings it down. It is constant pressure. We're basically camped in their half. As Doyle switches it to McLaughlin. He's got overlap from Tom Linley, but he's not going to get there. McDonald's found himself on the right wing now. He crosses early to Middleton. Oh, it's in. Huddart should have saved it. He got enough behind it. But he's dropped it into the net and it is 2-0 now. And I think we're going to win the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Cup. Surely we can't throw it away from here. And this series is a success. We've won my favourite competition. And we're going to get one more go in Europe where we won't have to focus on this competition too. But over the top from Clyde, they are trying to get one sort of consolation here. Though Kane wins it back, switches left to Middleton. Can we put real gloss on this now? Into Stephen Thompson! Heads into the corner. Again, the keeper didn't cover himself in glory. Stephen Thompson, it's been a hard year for him. Injuries, less opportunities and less goals when he has played. But he has scored a crucial goal here as we win 3-0 in the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Cup final. Probably one of my proudest moments in this series. And the goalkeeper, Gavin Bazunu, lifts the trophy as skipper as the red and white suit gets yet another outing. Fantastic work from the boys. It is 3-0 on the night. And it's another big win and another big moment for this football club. Let's go and see what that means for us. Here we go then. We lift the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Cup. It's a quadruple so far as we've won the Premiership, the League Cup and the Shield. Chance to add the Northern Irish Cup as well. £25,000. Every little helps here, although it is small money compared to Europe these days. And the board are of course happy. We were expected to reach the quarter-final and we've won it. Glenn Middleton was an absolute superstar. The payout is £12,000. And Clyde were overachievers for reaching the final. We actually probably had harder games earlier on. I mean, even in August we beat Inverness, who are right up there as a side as well. But let's go and have a look at that youth intake we were talking about. It's something that we always reflect on each year. It's very important in one club series. And this year is not really any different. So if we have a look at the youth candidates, this is what's left, which obviously isn't very good. We did bring through a Norwegian though, which is something I find interesting. So a Norwegian candidate in there. There's also one kid left there with 1-star ability. So I might offer him a contract. Let me just give him 10 quid a week. Oh, it's 20 now, the youth contract. But either way, he'll come in. But let's have a look at the under 18 so you can see the star of the bunch. If we go and have a look at them in age order, there are a few that have come in. As you can see here though, from the star ratings of the youngsters, they're not very good. There's only one player that really stands out. And that man is this one with 2.5-star ability, David Parker. Already got himself a long injury, which is great. But he's a 1-star ability fullback, 16 years old, Northern Irish, professional personality which will help him, although the injuries are causing some trouble. And he just looks a good balanced fullback. So I'd reckon if we can develop him and then give him to another Irish club, that would be great. Obviously we're not going to be here on camera long enough to see that this season. But that's the sort of plan we'd have. And with another Builder Nation coming in FM21, it's the stage we'd like to get to. As it's often the easiest way to strengthen the league, because these players are lower reputation than the ones we've signed from England. Otherwise, I think the next best is probably the other right back, Philip Downing. He's 1-star ability, but only 2-star potential. Not quite as good a personality, and not quite as strong physically. That's the difference, really. So those two are the only two that have got any chance. There was a goalkeeper who's got technical stats, but mentally he's all over the place. And then the only other one with 1-star ability was Johnny Kennedy, and he didn't sign him up. So I'm not quite sure about that, but we're going to get him on the books. A couple of the lads out on loan are doing well. David Jarvis improving while he's at Queen's University. Thomas Clancy doing well at Ballina Millard. So no more real stars out on loan. They're the only ones that we're looking at. But if we go and have a look at staffing, this is where we've been making our biggest upgrades this year. We've got more room suddenly now to bring in coaches as well, which is great, because it's the only area we're slightly struggling. But we are really expanding that team, and we're starting to find the people we need. Same for recruitment, and same for every other area. So let's have a look at these guys. If we put them in team order so you can see who we've brought in. We go down the list. Patrick Muller is the first. He was the earliest of the lot, about Christmas time. He's a Swiss coach, and he's 46 years of age. He's got a brilliant reputation. So I'm hoping he might be able to attract some over later on. He's been Servette's under-21 coach. He was a player at Monaco, Lyon, Basel, Mallorca. He's got a really good career behind him. Juventus even further back in '98. But he's a really good tactical coach, really good defensive coach, and he's got those mental stats. He's a professional personality, and that's what we're trying to build, a really professional environment here. So here's the first one that came in. Kei Tamura is a scout that we've brought in. He's Japanese, had been at Manchester United, so has a good knowledge of England as well as a little bit of South Korea and Brazil. But he's got a good judgment of player ability and potential, so here's our chief scout, and he's going to be a good addition to the team. Neil Alexander is next, replacing David Morgan, a former goalkeeping coach. He's a big upgrade. Of course, known for being at Rangers, Crystal Palace, Hearts in his former career. He played for Cardiff for a number of years back when I was a kid. And he is a brilliant goalkeeping coach. Again, professional personality. It is a theme that you're seeing in a lot of this. We are trying to provide the right environment. And with the former Scottish international Neil Alexander, we're doing just that. Next on the list is Danny Elliott. He actually came in last year. I'm not sure if we met him, but a really good coach across the board. Similar to the other one, Muller, but in a technical sense. Not such a big reputation for the Welshman. He's been at Newport as a player and as a loan manager, and he is now one of our coaches. A really good one on the face of it as well. So good to have him here for the rest of the series. We signed Ben Parker as a head of sports science, our first ever one. A massive upgrade towards the end of the last calendar year as well. A balanced personality for him, but still a big upgrade and a big addition to the team. Expanding our network is only going to help. I forgot to mention as well with Danny Elliott, a resolute personality, something that matters. Greg Kilkenny is a new scout as well. He's got 14 for ability, 13 for potential judgment. Really low wage, professional personality, a knowledge of Republic of Ireland. So maybe we can nick some of their best youngsters. That's the plan with that one. And then finally, as you may have noticed on the last screen, a new under-18 manager, Tim Sherwood. Now, he was actually my second choice, but the other one unfortunately wanted too much money. And that was Quinton Fortune, the former United player. But as it is, 3 caps for England, a former Premier League winner with Blackburn, and now a very high reputation from England. I'm thinking, will that potentially help in a window? Will that help with young signings as an under-18 manager? You have to think so. He's determined personality. He is actually rated as a very good coach on here, particularly defensively. And with a lot of our best regens being defensive in Northern Ireland, it makes sense for him to have the job. We've got good determination there, really good judgment, and an okay tactical knowledge. So I probably wouldn't say in fairness that his punditry on Soccer Saturday reflects these stats. Certainly not the way he talks about the game. But, you know, he did a decent job at Spurs before, and he's a big name for us to have here. He's been at Scunthorpe in this game as well, as an under-18s manager and an interim manager. But now we've nicked him for Cliftonville. He's the newest addition to the team, and I think he'll be good reputation-wise at the very least. So really good additions to the coaching team, an okay youth intake, but most importantly, we have won the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Cup. We've got a semi-final against Larne in the Irish Cup. If we win that, we face Ballina Millard or Dundalk from the Championship in the final. And we've got our 5 games following the league split. If we have a look at the table, Glenavon 1 point off Ballymena. So it's a real fight for third there. Glenavon have obviously got Connor Mitchell on loan from us. I'm not quite sure why he didn't play the last game because he's a very good goalkeeper. So why on earth didn't he play it? Was it against us maybe? It wasn't. It was the Mid-Ulster Cup, so obviously he wasn't able to play in that. But in the league, it has been Connor Mitchell every single step of the way. Of course, we didn't have to play against him in the Cup quarter-final, which helped massively. So Glenavon on course to do well. Ballymena back up in the top 3. Ross Glendinning now their star player. Despite some other good signings, he's become a very good goalkeeper. So they're doing well, but I'd say they're overachieving. They've got our former left-back Aaron Donnelly. They've got Nathan Kerr at right-back. Daniel Hughes they brought in, who was at Crusaders, and before that Dungannon. So there are some signs of improvement there. A decent team they've produced. And Larne up in second place. Only 6 points clear of them, despite all their big signings. They've obviously got Stephen Welsh, Ben Hall, Conor McDermott, all signed from us. They've got brilliant players going forward. Sule's good. Brad Lyons from us, of course. Ronan Hale up front. Parkhouse there. Kofi Baumer. And I just want to show you the contracts. Look at those wages. Over half the team's on over £1,000 a week. Actually, Ben Hall, the Northern Irish international, one of the lowest earners. But Baumer's on £5,000. Welsh 4. Hale 3.5. Loads of others on 3 or more. Conor McDermott's transfer listed now. He's one of their best players. And the problem is, he's going to be out of contract and released. He's been on £3,000 a week, so no other club will buy Larne's players because of the money they're on. It really is quite frustrated. And Robbie Hassan's out of contract at the end of the year, and the best youngster is being chased by Livingston. So that's going to be difficult, and Larne look like they're going backwards again. That's the frustrating bit of this series, is they're really going backwards. Institute really threatened with relegation, level on points with 11th, just 1 clear of 12th. And to be fair, they've got a decent squad. They've got Levi Ives, who was one of our stars in the first season, started every game for us when we finished second. They've got Calvin Faulkner, who is the best young player in Northern Ireland. He's got 6 caps for the country already. He's basically, him and Connor Crawford are the future. So we might have to sign him because he's out of contract this year and he might be moving on. So it's a very strange season. All of the best clubs are falling backwards. I mean, Institute battered us early in the season. They won 3-0 against us. It's our only defeat to this point. And how have those sides got themselves down there? Crusaders as well. It really is a strange situation. But we will be back for hopefully the Irish Cup final. If not, we'll come back for the final game of the season and a review, but hopefully we can get past Larne and have one more cup final to celebrate. So if you did enjoy this episode and us finally winning the Tunnock's Caramel Wafer Cup final, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily content from this series right up to the release of FM21, where we will be back with 2 new long-term stories, live streams nearly every day during the beta, and plenty more. Get over on the community page to catch up with the announcements. You can follow me on Discord and on Twitter as well. And there'll be a few votes in the lead up to FM21 too. So thank you for your incredible support. You can check out the podcast channel in the eye above as well. A massive weekend in Northern Irish football today, as there's been some big games in the Premiership to start the season. You can see our team by team guide in the eye above, as well as a preview to the season. But a big thanks for watching this one. Your continued support with the series as always. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time for another big episode, as we try to make it 5 trophies for the season.